I just need a moment for me, a second to breathe, a little tequila as I put my feet up. ESPN Sports or Fresh Prince reruns. I spend overcharging with no refund. Clear my mind, let me reset. Pack a bowl, sing my soul as I reflect. I'm trying to unplug, I'm feeling undone. When life gets too much, you need to re-up.
So, what's been going on with you, man? Everything good?
You know, it's been a crazy year for us all, but other than that, you know, just been creating and writing and just getting deep into my mind and my thoughts with the way the world's been. So it's been definitely a reset for us all. So
no pun intended. So what city are you from?
Sylmar. So I was born actually in Woodland Hills, but I was raised in Sylmar and Panorama City. My parents split when I was young, so I got those two cities, which aren't far from each other. Still considered the San Fernando Valley for it all. So that's where I'm from. 818.
So in that area, what was your greatest influences?
You know, for the most part, growing up, my influencers really were always like, man, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He was always a huge influence on me, and he's not from around like the valley right there, but as a kid, I was in the freaking I was a kid.
SmackDown, man.
Yeah,
he was the
Raw
star
and all that stuff.
Thursday night SmackDown, man. It was crazy.
I think I definitely lived a kid's childhood life for the most part. You know, I was always out with my friends. I was always doing sports, this and that. So, you know, my influences around there, anywhere that I lived, was really my dad and my family for the most part. They always, you know, influenced me to just work hard and do better. So
let's just run it. Fuck it. This shit sounds pretty good. I think this album sounds good.
Getting started, we come through so make way. Started at the bottom. Now we up the.
So did you play any sports?
I did. Baseball was my main thing. It runs in my family. My dad played for the Oakland A's. Okay. He was drafted right out of high school as a starting pitcher. So, you know, since I was a kid, I was on 2-3 travel teams, and you know, I loved it. That's it till this day. It's still my heart and soul. So. I play on a Sunday league with my friends still today, so I can never get rid of that sport. But yeah, I did them all, man. I did football, a little bit, basketball, all the sports for the most part. But baseball is really my main thing.
So what made you transition from sports into music?
If I'm being honest, in high school, I just didn't get along with my coaches at one point. I felt like they were changing my game too much, and they were changing just the sport itself a little bit. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of when I hit my wall, and I just kind of started drifting away a little bit. I started doing my own thing. I got into Muay Thai fighting for a little bit, just as like a stress reliever and just to do it for fun. And you know, my dad and my whole family did karate. Most of them were all black belts, so even fighting runs in my family. I just didn't want to wear the suit. You know, I was more into the UFC and the new MMA, and you know, I did wrestling in high school and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So, with a professional baseball player as a father, and with all these sports and martial arts in your background, how did that all shape the man that you are today?
Just to never give up, always go forward, always move forward. One thing my dad taught me in baseball and just growing up and in life that I've used to this day is always give it 110%. You know, always go above and beyond what you're expected, and 100% isn't your max. There's more than that. So always go through it. You know, in punching, he would teach me when you're hitting the punching bag, you don't hit the bag. You got to hit past the bag. You got to hit through the bag. You know, so just always going further in life and further than your limits, and just giving it everything you got, and whether you fail or succeed, you know you left it all in the ring, on the field and all that stuff. So, yeah.
It's a double, you walk this one for the win. I got a glimpse of the life we about to live.
For sure, for sure. So 2020, man, it's forced us all to hit that reset button, man.
Yes.
So you got the new video dropping, man, Reset. What's the inspiration behind the whole concept of the song and the concept of the music video?
You know, so with the song, it just translated more into my personal life, where I just felt like everything was coming at me at one time, including, you know, the 2020 year and stuff like that. But I just felt like I was getting hit. I was getting, you know, haymakers thrown at me in every aspect of my life, and that's really where the song came from. Is, you know, even though you're gonna have those moments, everyone has those moments, you got to be able to just, you know, not break down. Just take that breath, hit that reset button, and just keep moving forward. You're gonna get through it, and you gotta keep moving forward regardless. You can't stop here because the world ain't gonna stop. You know, so.
I felt that personally because my journalism career had just started to take off. I was doing stuff with the XFL. I had stuff lined up with a Sundance Film Festival, with HBO.
Nice.
With I had a few other things. I had the South by Southwest Festival in Texas. So when Corona hit, it wiped my whole schedule clean. I was doing podcasting production, and I decided to go full-fledged into my journalism. So when I decided to go full-fledged into my journalism, I got a calendar lined up. I'd start getting all these press releases done, and all of a sudden COVID hit and wiped all my calendar away. All the events canceled, everything, and I literally had to hit the reset button, like, and start from scratch, you know. So
I think that's where, you know, besides looking at all the bad that's happened this year and all the madness and the confusion, I think what I've said from the beginning is this is the time for everybody to, besides reset, is just adapt. Adapt, and instead of like figuring out that change is going to be this bad thing, no matter what happens, you got to adapt. You know what I mean? So just being able to adjust in the what's changing, and, you know, whether it's political or the world around you or just our lifestyle in general. Again, got to keep moving forward. So I think it's a time for people to reset, people to find themselves, figure out who they really are, what they want to do, and tackle that straight on.
So
I know you've been working, so I think we should let up. When is the last time you had a night out on the town? You should call all your friends up. I was thinking we could all meet up, we could party and bullshit together. And after the club, I'm thinking that we break off and maybe we end up with...
concept behind the music video at a motor shop. What was the whole inspiration behind that?
You know, just for the most part, you know, working hard. I just felt like, you know, mechanics and construction and a lot of hard labor jobs. I felt like, you know, I grew up around that. I grew up around the mechanics, and my whole family's in construction and that whole lifestyle. So I just felt like that would fit perfect to what I'm around and what I grew up around, but just that struggle. And no matter what, whether you're paying the bills and you own your own business, and right now with COVID and owning your own business, a lot of small businesses are struggling, so you could look at it that way. But we just want, you know, I grew up right there in Sylmar. Chubby's has been in our family for a while. My dad's taken, you know, cars to him. I've taken cars. My grandpa, we've all taken cars to him, so he's been around right down the street, and we just thought it was a good fit. You know, Nick Hernandez, Nick Knack Films, he was our drone operator and one of our producers. And he helped put everything together. He helped, you know, bring Danny Trejo on board along with Chubby, and just having the location and everything the way it worked. We wanted to build it around that. And in the music video, with like I said, being tackled by many different aspects, we wanted to just emphasize on that. So in the music video, besides getting yelled at by customers, like everything that can go wrong, Murphy's Law is what comes into effect in this music video. It's like we're just gonna literally throw everything at him. I get robbed by 2 girls, you know, I get pushed up against the wall by Danny Trejo, oil splattered in my face because I can't even fix the car right. I'm all fucked up, drinking tequila because that's my choice of drink. And yeah, even throughout that, we just, again, want to make sure that people can get past all that.
So when you mention Murphy's Law, explain that to the people that aren't familiar with that term.
What can go wrong will go wrong. And even though you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna have those days where everything goes wrong. Everything, nothing goes as planned, and just gotta keep going. You still gotta, you know, keep your eyes open, make it home, start the next day tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day.
What made you decide to become a music artist?
I'm a real emotional person. I needed a way to let that out, you know. I mean, even, like I said, talking about fighting in high school and doing Muay Thai and stuff, it was another way to let out my emotions. But to be honest, music, it didn't click to me until I got older, until I was 18, 19. But growing up, you know, all the issues I've had through my childhood and the drama between my families and my parents splitting and all that good stuff, I always remember having headphones on when those moments hit. When I was going through those things, my headphones were on. I was always listening to music, and it didn't click until later that music got me through all those situations, that it helped. I remember some songs, you know, even my mom, I think, and my grandma make fun of me that when I was a kid, at a certain time of my age, I was singing, what song was it? Killing Me Softly. I used to sing that song all the time for whatever reason.
Yeah, the Fugees?
The Fugees, yeah. And they still make fun of me for that. And you used to sing that song all the time on the little cassette tapes and stuff like that. So there was always a lot of those moments. And that's what made me get into music, is to be able to help other people in those situations when they feel like they don't have a voice, or when they feel like they're by themselves in this and no one else understands them. There's always somebody that understands, that's been there. Again, there's always someone that's gone through worse than what you have. So if they can get out their shit, you can get out your shit. There's a way. So, yeah, that's what made me get into music, is to be able to help people get out of those situations.
Let's go. Welcome to the party. Tonight we gonna party. Welcome to the party. Tonight we gonna party. Welcome to the function. Welcome to the west side. We got the music bumping. We on a good high. We throw it back like the old days. Have a backyard boogie for your birthday.
So at what point were you like, I'm gonna take this seriously? I really got something here.
Probably not until I met my producer and my sound engineer now, sound boy Anthony Reeder. When my team started expanding and I started, you know, I was raised with a lot of gangsters and a lot of, you know, hustlers and stuff like that. So yeah, I was always, show me who your friends are, I'll show you who you are. Hang around people with money, you'll start finding money in your pocket. So when my team started expanding to people that inspired me to this day, that's when I was like, all right, I definitely have to take this more serious. And I felt like when more people like that when people that inspire me were inspired by me as well, and that vibe was there, it pushed me to start taking it seriously and doing stuff like that. So when more people believed in me, I felt like I couldn't let them down along with myself. And yeah, that's when I really started taking it seriously, because even before, it wasn't until my buddy Hector made me do music for the most part. If it wasn't for him, I would not be doing music. Me and him were smoking one time out of high school in that summer, and he told me, write some stuff. There was this song by Freddie Gibbs, and I just loved the beat. It's called Bust Down. And I loved it, and for like a week I'd tell him, play it, play it, play it. So one time we were just smoking a blunt, and he was like, write some shit. I'll write some shit, let's see who comes up with something better. And it was some typical fucking ABC rhyme shit that I did, and not that mine was good, but his was probably worse. And that's when he was like, yo, you ever thought about doing music? And I laughed, and I was like, hell no. And you know, throughout the next like 6 months, I started catching myself at work writing little rhymes and doing this and that. And then me and him made our first song together in my mom's apartment, cut out the electricity, fucking just did what we could there off of Pro Tools and a little laptop. And after he kind of did what he could and mixed the first song, and I heard it, I thought it was fun. I thought it was dope. I'm like, yo, this is kind of cool. And when I go to write my second song, I can't find my boy Hector. He had gotten locked up, and he kind of disappeared on me. So even the moment where I felt like, all right, maybe this could be something like as a hobby, it was just gone right away. So even until then, but when I first started communicating with him and writing letters and stuff, you know, his little brother gave me all the Pro Tools and all the stuff, and I just picked up and I ran with it and just kept moving forward, and that's why we're here now.
Yeah, I had a similar experience. I started my podcast with a cast of 4 or 5 guys, and 6 months later I look up and it's just me. You know, and having that willpower to keep going.
Yeah.
And then had that foresight to know, like, this is what I want to do regardless if nobody else wants to get on this train with me. You know, it's when you know you found your real passion.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? When
Passion's
you're willing to
what-
do it, no matter what, no matter who's by your side or not, you know, that's a true testament.
Passion's gonna get you there.
So who was your favorite artist growing up?
Growing up, when I was first, my mom freaking played Tupac all day long when I was a kid. So Tupac was definitely a big influence. But when I found hip hop for myself and really started digging into it, it wasn't until like Eminem, 50 Cent, and The Game. Those are like my 3 original OGs when I found it for myself. But I grew up around Tupac and all that, you know, the old school rap and stuff like that, and you know, NWA and Biggie and all the legends, Snoop Dogg and stuff like that. But yeah, that's when, you know, Eminem is one of my biggest inspirations in the rap game. Just the hard life and putting yourself out there and not being able to just express yourself the way you want or the way you need. That was just, no one does it better than him.
So let's touch back on this year 2020, man. If you could describe it in one word, what would that one word be?
It's probably a lot of words, but I guess one would be messy. It's
All
messy.
over the place, huh?
It's all over the place. It's a little messy, and just gotta clean it up. That's it.
You gotta hit the reset.
That's it.
So has this pandemic hurt you? How has it hurt you? And how has it helped you?
I'd probably say helping me, it's, again, got me to learn more about myself, dig deeper into my music, dig deeper into my creativeness, what I want to do, my goals and stuff like that. So to be able to, I took the advantage of finding more about myself at the end of the day. And as for hurting me, just the communication with people and like that face-to-face communication and vibing out with people and, you know, my friends and people that I work with and stuff like that, to be able to just hang out. I think that's where it's hurt me the most for the most part. But other than that, I think it's been more, I've tried to take as much advantage as I can as possible and turn it into lemonade, you know?
So with all this police brutality and protests in all 50 states, and now we're 2 weeks away from the presidential election, what is your thoughts on this presidential election? And is all this a result of it being an election year? Do you think that these protests would have broke out if it wasn't an election year, if it wasn't a pandemic?
You know, I think what was meant to happen is meant to happen. So even, again, throughout all this chaos, things are supposed to happen the way they are. You know, there's a plan. God's got a plan for everybody, and if things are happening this way, they're meant to happen this way. That's the way I see it. Life ain't easy. Shit's complicated. Gotta figure it out. So whether it's political, you know, and you're going for one candidate, you're going for the other, we just gotta figure out the answers and the solutions to stuff. So as to it being an election year and just it being all this madness at once, I just think it happened to just hit us all at once for the most part. There's a lot of people saying different stuff. Yeah, it could be because of the campaign, you know, with the coronavirus and all this stuff, and it's just a lot of, at this point, it's so much white noise because there's so many people just saying different things, like you can't really believe anybody, or it feels like you can't believe, you know, anybody. Mm-hmm. It's like, I mean, even the most knowledgeable people in the world, and you have two of them, one saying one, the other saying the other, just confusing as far as I know. So to describe 2020 as well in one word, just confusing as well. But yeah.
That's crazy. So now that you look back and you're on your path, when it's all said and done, how do you want your career to look?
The way I want my career to look at the end of it all is, again, kind of just knowing that I gave it my all, knowing that I did everything I could in life. For me, success is being able to take care of my family, make a change, you know, for other people, make a difference, help others as much as I can, and if I can inspire people in one direction or the next, you know, I feel like that's success for me, making an impact.
So along this journey, man, we all run into people that inspire us and help us along the way. So what has been the best piece of advice that you've gotten, and who did it come from?
I think I said it a couple times throughout this interview, but I've always just, what my dad's told me since I was a kid is always give it 110%. You know, people say practice makes perfect, but he would always say practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So there's always a better way to do it. If you do 10 reps in the gym, you can always do one more. You can always do one more. So just going above and beyond. I think I've always just tried to take what he's given me with that 110% and use it in every aspect of my life, whether it's a typical 9 to 5 or doing music, or anything I've done, just know that you gave it your all. You're doing what you can.
So would you describe that as your definition of success? Leaving it all out there on the field, you know, doing as much as you can? Because what more can I give than everything? You know what I'm saying? So to me, that is success also.
It is. Failure is also success. So to be able to know that you didn't win, but you, like you said, leaving it all on the mat, you won. You got to find, there's always that silver lining. There's always that, you know, failure, you learn more from failure than you do from winning. Mm-hmm. So people are scared to fail, and I think one of my inspirations and someone that I listen to is Gary Vee. And he said before, you need to go out and fail more. Mm-hmm. Go fail. Go fail.
I listen to Gary Vee almost daily.
Yeah, he's always saying something. Mm-hmm. He's always got something to say, and it's always something good. It's always something
straight too, you know.
Straightforward, no beating around the bush. You know, people are scared of the truth or can't handle the truth, and he's the truth. He speaks it the way he believes it, and you either like it or you don't.
I just need a moment for me, a second to breathe, a little tequila as I put my feet up. ESPN Sports or Fresh Prince reruns. Life's been overcharging with no refund. Clear my mind, let me reset. Pack a bowl, sing my soul as I reflect. I'm trying to unplug, I'm feeling undone. When life gets too much, you need to re-up. And I've been overdrawn on my mistakes. Insanity's expecting change with no change. I feel my body stretching in every direction. I'm slipping, I'm disconnecting, I'm on edge. I'm in my own head about the tank. Time is ticking, but my body ain't moving with it. The world around me is moving faster than I can spin it. Life's a fee and it's double on the shipping. Life's a bitch with no warranty given. I left my heart out in the open. I've had many in the moments. And I feel I'm really losing focus. My mind is floating, my eyes are swollen. Life ain't always roses, it's heavy noted. Every choice has a price tag, and every move ain't the right play. It's ironic that my lows get me inspired. Was the swisher, where's the lighter? I need to pick me up when I get tired. And I've been walking this road for miles, through many trials, like night and day. We've been at this for a while now. We've been at this for a while now. Lately I've just had my hands tied. I think you caught me at a bad time. Don't you get my bad side. Don't you get my bad side.
What's it here?
I just need a moment for me, a second to breathe, a little tequila as I put my feet up. ESPN Sports or Fresh Prince reruns. Life's been overcharging with no refund. Clear my mind, let me reset. Pack a bowl, sing my soul as I reflect. I'm trying to unplug, I'm feeling undone. When life gets too much, you need to re-up. Give me 10 minutes in the sauna. Give me some time to sweat out my problems. If they ain't down, you chalk them. Where were you when I was at the bottom? I needed Robin, playing Gollum. I feel the rug being pulled right out from under me. If I was down and out, would you still fuck with me? Cause I've been running thin, below like 2%. Heavy on my sins, be that as it is. I've been going, I'm on overload. I heard you talking to so-and-so. I give you mine when I know they don't. Give you mine when you know they won't. Everybody wants some input. Everybody wants to say, then they got you like a fish hook. But don't mistake my kindness for weakness. We both know that I don't need a reason. And I've been walking this road for miles, through many trials, like night and day. We've been at this for a while now. We've been at this for a while now. Lately I've just had my hands tied. I think you caught me at a bad time. Caught me at a bad time. Don't you get my bad side. Don't you get my bad side. Don't you get my bad